What is up, guys? It is your boy Big Cuzzo. I'm here with a special guest. I'm gonna allow him to introduce himself because he has a pretty cool career and a really cool guy. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself. My man, take it away.
What's good, y'all? Nik Johnson. I'm a graphic designer, videographer, photographer, creative director. I do a lot of everything, animator as well. But yeah, man, I'm happy to be here.
What inspired you to hone into your craft, into your field, what you're in?
I've always just been interested in design, animation, cartoons growing up. My cousin, who's not with us anymore, he's a big influence. He was big into anime, wrestling, movies. He introduced me to a lot of like films growing up. So like kind of, you know, hanging out with him, I got to experience a lot of like culture early on and just kind of went with it. Just always been interested in like just creating stuff. So,
now, do you have any other like people or even attributes or things that inspired you to also hone in and jump into this craft? Or is like any person that you looked up in your field, it was like, that's somebody I want to follow? Or
one of the people that I really look up to is Rick Rubin. He's a producer, but if you ever listen to the way he talks, it's just about creativity, getting the best out of the creative project that you're working on. Like anytime he talks is on a podcast, it's like that's a person I like.
Word. Okay. All right. So what are some of your like most favorite projects that you've worked on in the past few years?
I've been super blessed the past 2 years, honestly. I've been working with Adidas and James Harden. S2 shoe campaigns, Volume 8, Volume 9. Worked with my buddy Kyle, shout out to Kyle. He's a photographer for the Sixers. He friends with Alan, who works closely with James and does all his marketing for Adidas. I guess they needed someone to like help with photo retouching. And me and Kyle became cool, and he brought me on and said, hey, I got this project, I'd like to bring you in. And so we shot the shoes. Started doing the photo retouching, and then one thing left to another, and Alan was like, hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do that? Hey, can you do that? Yes. Just say yes to everything. And now I've done so much in the campaign, from photo editing the shoes to marketing assets to 3D, directing 3D videos with my buddy Jimmy that I brought on to the project. Got my wife involved with the sound design. So like I've really been able to, the people that I've come up with and are in my circle, also able to get that Adidas cred on their portfolios and stuff.
You a gifted dude, bro.
Yeah, so
you gifted, man.
It's been special, man.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. For the future, for people that are going to be stepping in behind you, any challenges or anything that they should be aware of?
A lot of times, a lot of people, creatives in our space, when they're coming up in their early 20s, is like not having people support, especially their family. Get a real job, that type talk, and that can really just be negative, a negative voice, and can make you maybe stop. My whole thing is just stay the course. It took me, I'm 33, about to be 34, and I didn't get to work with Adidas until I was 32, 30, 31 or something like that. Later in life, it takes time. There's been plenty of times where 25, 26 years old, I'm seeing all my friends with their corporate jobs, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Sure.
They're getting houses, they're getting new cars, and like I'm, still kind of trying to figure it out. I'm struggling. Am I taking the right route? You kind of constantly in battle with that. And then I feel like once you hit 30 or whatever, you kind of just, you are who you are at that point. You know who you are, and it's just
30 is a magical year. I feel like usually when you step into your 30s, if you're a fuck up and you just don't have your shit together, most likely your life, things can change. But for the most part, you're down that path. But I feel like if you're already on some type of path to wanting to better yourself and trying to find yourself, by the time you hit 30, I think it all makes sense. Things just start to click.
You just don't care as much as you used to care about. Like, what do people think about? You're just like, whatever, it is what it is. I think another cheat code too is finding someone that like supports your dreams. Like I'm so lucky my wife's here supporting me now.
Like you said, your friends, I can also agree. I'm sure Zach, everyone here can agree. When you're on this path to trying to figure out where your lane is, your friends will often usually pick the most comfortable route. They'll go to school because their mom and dad told them, or that's just the thing to do. They're getting married way more than they're emotionally ready for. You know what I'm saying? Simply because society tells you to do that. And you could feel like an outcast. It can make you feel like, man, what am I doing wrong? But to me, that delayed gratification will taste so much sweeter. It
really is. And I've had a lot of my friends that I looked up to, that I was looking at, in the corporate world. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. Get in where you fit in, you got to provide for your family. You got to do what's best for you. But it's been cool they reach out and they say, I'm proud of you, man. Like, I'm glad, you stuck with it. Any advice? Because everyone has like hobbies and stuff that, they would like to pour their passion into and maybe make some money.
Everyone does.
So now we live in the best time, in my opinion, to start a business, start a side hustle,
Yes.
and really maximize your opportunity and like get your product out to the whole world. Not just where like you are, you know, whether you're in Philly or whatever city, you can go global with your brand. Very, very easy in terms of if you're consistent,
Sure.
and you just, you know, attack it, you can get there.
Where are you from again? You from Jersey or Philly?
I'm from Delaware County, grew up in Darby, went to Ridley, so I've been in the area. You know,
Gotcha. Yeah, just same thing.
Yeah.
So you can admit too that just the Northeast specifically, but more so Philly / South Jersey is just, it's a gritty place. It's a very interesting place.
Yeah.
When you can make it on your own and you can make that lane for yourself, it is vital and very important.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. It's gritty. Philly's a very gritty city, a beautiful city, but very gritty. You got to really figure out your way to get it on your own and keep hustling.
You can make it anywhere. It's true, because it's like you're gonna, you know, it's tough. People are cutthroat too. People don't want to necessarily, you know,
Support.
give you, you know, your props right away. But you got to earn it. And once you earn it, I feel like you reached a stable level. You know, you always got to be a good person and do right by people. But you know, once you reach that peak or reach that point, you know, it just feels like, you know, you can stay consistent with that.
I always say, if you can make the city love you, the whole world will love you.
Right.
And that's just what it is. And again, being from this area, it takes a while for them to love you, right? Because they're gonna keep it real. You suck. You need to better this. You're trash. They're gonna tell you they're gonna keep it a beam with you, right? But at the same time, once they begin to see that you're real and authentic, and they really start fucking with you and really love you, that's a love that will never go away. So again, that delayed gratification. You got to prove yourself. But once proven, they'll forever ride for you.
You said something, and it brings me back to like my buddy Vonlex I was telling you about. He always said this: run your block, run your city, run the world.
Say that again.
Run your block, run your city, run the world. Like that's kind of like the progression.
Cheers to my man on that one. I like that.
You know what I'm saying? It's like once you get good in your hometown, then build that up to the city, and then, you know, go worldwide with it. Yeah.
Who else have you worked with that are up there?
I worked with some Philly people, PNB Rock I worked with.
Oh, shout out to PNB, man, a real one, RIP.
Yeah, RIP, man.
Yeah, he's a real one.
Yeah, I worked with him on his Catch These Vibes album. I animated the album cover and did like a lyric video. Wow. So that was cool. I worked with Wiz.
I saw your one Instagram post. You dabbed hands and took a picture of Will Smith. You forgot that?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah,
Will Smith?
Yeah, that was awesome, man. Shout out to my guy
Philly
Buster.
legend, bro.
Yeah, Philly legend, and really, like, I don't know who's higher than Will, you know, when it comes to Philly.
At this point, I don't know either.
So that was cool, man, because like I said it in my post, like that was the first CD I ever bought was Big Willie Style. So like that was like my childhood. To meet him and like be in his presence, you know, they say like don't meet your idols or whatever. I could say, at least from my interaction, it was just one interaction, like he felt like what I was hoping the experience would be.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, he felt like
beautiful.
He was happy to be there. He has positive energy, and he gave everyone, you know, the time of day. Took pictures with everyone. I was like, I left that interaction and left that whole scenario. Like, oh, Will, that's my guy.
Shout out to you, Will. You the man, dog.
Yeah.
I gotta meet you next.
Straight up.
I got dap hands with you next. What's next for you? What's not that you need to spill any detail. You know, what you share what you would like, but what's next for you? What new projects? What new ventures? What's just next for you? What's on the horizon for you?
Again, just always pouring into my passions. I'm getting my own merch together, getting that all together. I got a shirt out right now. It's Phillies related, Fan Lot. It's a little play on the Sandlot movie. It's one of my favorite.
One of my favorite. Yo, that's one of our millennials' favorite movies.
Yeah, exactly. So that's been getting good reception about that. A lot of people are interested in that. And working with my guy Buster, who's a radio host on Q102. Me and him do a lot of stuff together. So we got events coming up. We're throwing a WrestleMania watch party. I'm a big wrestling fan, so
I'm gonna be at that one.
April 29th. It's a boxing gym, and they have a boxing ring in the center of the gym. You got to go down the stairs. It feels like you're like entering like Fight Club or something. So we're gonna have that on a big screen. You can be able to take a picture in the ring. It's gonna be a good time. So we're actually creating this wrestling brand. So don't be surprised if you see me putting together a wrestling show.
I love it. I love it. But
other than that, just I'm gonna keep working with more athletes, working with more creatives like yourselves, and you know, eventually I'd like to build my own fantasy factory, you know, that anyone can pull up, and whether, you know, we're shooting content, photos, or, you know, just playing video games or whatever. I just want everything I want a space that everyone can come and, you know, feel comfortable and create and, you know, have no limits to what, you know, we can
I love
do.
it. You guys heard it from my man, Nik Johnson. He's an awesome artist. Check him out on all the various things that he does. He's multifaceted, multi-talented guy. Please check him out on the social medias. What's your social media?
Nik Johnson, NikJohnson.Art, on mostly everything. Yeah.
Cool. All right, beautiful people. We out.